because I am literally the cringiest person on planet Earth, I made a SpongeBob OC. I would love it if you guys went into the comments and told me if you thought this OC would fit into the story in the show at all. Like, would they be a background character? Would they be like a one episode kind of character? Like maybe they would have an episode featured after them or something, but literally only one. Or maybe they could be a main character. Obviously, probably not, but I just want to see. Her full name is Heaven Fish, and she lives in Rock Bottom with her very big family. Heaven was born on March 20th. She's pansexual and is a Pisces. Believe it or not, Heaven is actually supposed to be very, very ugly to other fish. If you couldn't tell, anglerfish are actually very, very round, and Heaven is very, very skinny. Anglerfish in the SpongeBob universe, or at least in my version of the SpongeBob universe, are also very short. Taller than surface fish, which is what I'm choosing to call as fish who don't live in rock bottom, but nonetheless short to rock bottom fish. And Heaven is super tall. Heaven doesn't fit into the beauty standards of other anglerfish, and while that doesn't make her ugly, to them it does. So she was often ridiculed. She grew up being teased by not only other fish, but also her family. Her mother and father would pester her to eat more, and her siblings would push her around because she's so light. This teasing turned her into a bit of a pushover. She's also very hesitant to talk to other fish, only talking to them when she needs something. And I mean really needs something. Like, if she's looking for directions, that will be her last resort. While she's subconscious about her weight, she's not about her figure. Heaven loves fashion. She particularly loves fashion that is high class, choosing very extravagant clothes and foods. She also loves makeup, and there is absolutely no in-between with her looks. She will either have a full face of dramatic glittery makeup, or no makeup at all. She is also very interested in the arts, mostly music. Her favorite instrument to play would be the harp, and she sings as well, though her voice isn't anything special. Despite being nervous around other fish, Heaven likes loud, crowded, and chaotic places, but hates when they're arguing. Graduating college at 22 and leaving rock bottom at 23, Heaven moves near the surface, with her glasses, made specially for rock bottom fish so they can see on the surface world, to start a small business where she sells regular and exotic flowers. Exotic flowers that are regular to rock bottom dwellers, but exotic to surface dwellers, and vice versa. And this, my bimbos, is where her character sheet ends and her interaction with the characters begin. Heaven would move right across from SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick. SpongeBob, seeing a new neighbor and possibly a new friend, would prompt Patrick and Squidward to go meet their new neighbor. With Squidward reluctantly joining, they would go to Heaven's house to greet her. After meeting, I believe that Heaven and Squidward would quickly become friends. Both with a passion for arts, they would hang out frequently. Of course, Squidward doesn't like her as much as he would have because she still likes SpongeBob and Patrick. Whenever SpongeBob and or Patrick would ask to come with them on their hangouts, she would always agree, and Squidward hated it. So while Squidward likes Heaven, he does not like how she likes SpongeBob and Patrick. He also does not like how she is a pushover. SpongeBob and Patrick would also like Heaven, because they like everyone. They like how nice she is, and they like when she plays music and sings. They also like when she cooks for them, and also loves the flowers she grows. Heaven likes SpongeBob and Patrick because they remind her of her younger siblings. Their loud and chaotic and goofy manner reminds them a lot of her family. SpongeBob also likes the colorful and dramatic outfit she wears, making him be cautious when he's handling food or basically anything around her when she's wearing such nice clothing, which Heaven appreciates. Patrick, however, doesn't seem to care nor is interested in fashion, so he's a bit more careless, sometimes spilling things on her clothes and ruining them, which Heaven does not appreciate and finds annoying. When Heaven and Mr. Krabs meet, it will be on a day where she is selling her flowers. Heaven would notice how everyone loves Mr. Krabs' food and would stand outside his restaurant after they finish eating and sell flowers to them. Mr. Krabs, seeing this, at first wouldn't care, but would then see it as a business opportunity. Mr. Krabs would offer to buy most of the flowers that she sells to put in the restaurant as decoratives. with a very hard negotiation of the price of her flowers, in the end even causing Heaven to raise the price for Mr. Krabs and Heaven would come to an agreement. Heaven may be a pushover, but she's not a pushover with her money, which Mr. Krabs can respect. Heaven has no opinion about Plankton, though she doesn't really like him after finding out that he tried to take over the world, but does often have tea with Karen. Plankton thinks Heaven is kinda stupid, as he thinks everyone is stupid. He likes that she's a pushover, because he gets to do what he wants when she's around. But Karen is there to sometimes stop Plankton from pushing Heaven around, because Karen sees Heaven as sort of a daughter figure. Heaven loves and adores Sandy, with Sandy reminding Heaven of her older siblings. Heaven loves spending time with Sandy and watching her do karate. She also loves how Sandy can go from loud and chaotic to soft and subtle, which allows Heaven to also spend time with her drinking tea and listening to classical music. Sandy likes hanging out with Heaven, but hates when Heaven gets on her about tea etiquette and finds some of the fancy things she does a little overbearing. Since she loves loud and chaotic people, she would also love to hang out with Larry the Lobster and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. She also occasionally hangs out with Rayman, and while she doesn't like that he commits crimes, he is very, very nice to have tea with. And that is it for Heaven Fish, my bimbos. What do you think of her? Does she seem like a likable character? Is she someone you would hang out with and have tea with? Would she be a background character? And do you like her design? Or is she a dreaded Mary Sue and doesn't fit with the story at all? Me personally, I think personality-wise, she could be a reoccurring character. I wouldn't bet on it though. Design-wise, I tried to keep the colors simple. The only thing that would really change about her would be her clothes and makeup, because I felt like personally, if I were going to write her in a show, her little thing would be that every episode she would have a different outfit and makeup. She would have a recurring outfit that she would mostly be seen in, but otherwise, she's in a different one. I also feel like I made her a bit perfect. I mean, I added the flaw that she's a pushover, but I feel like she would also be kind of a stickler for the rules, which is why she gets on Sandy and literally anyone when having a tea party, because she's really into the rules. Also, if I were going to go deeper into this character, I think I would expand on her being quote-unquote ugly. I feel like I just mentioned that and would expand on that more. I would also make her unintentionally obnoxious. Since she's so into high-class stuff and high-class etiquette and foods and all that, I feel like she would unintentionally hurt someone's feelings. Like if there was going to be an episode about it, I feel like she would unintentionally say something mean to Sandy, which would prompt Sandy to change up her dome, making it more fancy. It would be like that episode in My Little Pony, when Discord invites Fluttershy over for tea, and is scared that Fluttershy wouldn't like his home, so he changes his up to be more normal. And to expand more on the ugly part of her character, maybe in an episode, she will be hanging out with Squidward and run into Squilliam, and Squilliam, being Squilliam, would insult Squidward, and when Heaven gets a little burst of confidence and sticks up for Squidward, it backfires, and Squilliam comments on how she's supposed to be chubby and short, when she's in fact tall and skinny, causing her to run away crying. But yeah, that's it. Stay bimbo-y, my boys, but most importantly, stay small.